From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We're seeing some overcast skies in many areas, but parts of the valley have cleared things out, and some of the clearing that we are seeing in some areas, it's going to allow for some daytime heating and the instability to really begin to increase. Kind of want to show you an example. We take a look at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. You see some of the breaks that we are seeing in the clouds. That's enough for us to get some of that heating throughout the day to really add to some of that instability here. Now, we take a look out at Crescent City, Harbor District. Again, you see how we're seeing some of those breaks in the clouds. You can even see a little bit of sunshine out there as well. Again, this is adding to the instability that we're beginning to see make its way into the region here as we take you through the afternoon. Take a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. You see the breaks in the clouds. In fact, we're seeing more breaks in the clouds for many of the valley locations. So even though things are quiet now, that could change here as we get into the second half of the afternoon today. Taking a look at Lassen Park, kind of the overcast skies out there, but it looks like we are going to see the potential for a lot of areas seeing the potential for thunderstorms. And we'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. Let's take a look at some of the peak wind gusts we've seen over the last 24 hours. And you can see this is, of course, including what we did see last night and into the early morning hours. Look at that, a peak gust of 45 miles per hour out at the Red Bluff Airport, a little bit stronger out in Chico. You notice, actually, Futurecast did a pretty good job in predicting the fact that Redding wasn't going to see as strong of winds. Now, they did get strong at points, but 19 miles per hour compared to 45 is certainly a big difference there. We take you out to the coast, out towards Crescent City and Eureka, over 30 mile per hour gusts there, and even out towards Wairika and even Etna, seeing some pretty gusty winds. So, we still have the chance for showers and thunderstorms today, with off and on showers through Saturday. Snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet, and I do expect drier and warmer conditions, though, as we go into early next week. So here's your neighborhood forecast for today, and there you can see the showers and thunderstorms that we will see develop here later this afternoon. And snow levels are going to be lower for many of the mountain locations, down to as low as 3,000 feet, but generally between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. Here's the area of low pressure right here. Here's the cold and unstable air that's moving in. Unfortunately, some of the satellite data is missing here, but you get the idea. You can certainly see the activity as it begins to move in closer to Northern California. We're also watching this right here. That is what's going to be moving in here by the time we go into tomorrow, giving us yet another round of some rain and tomorrow, and not to mention into Saturday. So your severe outlook, this is coming in from the Storm Prediction Center. It's been updated since this morning. Now, this morning, it was only including the valley and some of the surrounding foothills, and then, of course, parts of the North Coast as well. So what the Storm Prediction Center has done is included more areas such as Trinity County, parts of Siskiyou County, and some more, including parts of the eastern mountains as well. So does this mean that every area shaded in green is going to see thunderstorms? Not necessarily, but what it means is that the potential for thunderstorms is there. And Mother Nature actually may grab onto some of that potential and bring us some of those thunderstorms. So let's take a look at Futurecast, kind of give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. So as we go through the afternoon, this is what I expect to happen. You know, through the morning, we're just not seeing much activity out there. But as we go through the afternoon, some of the peak daytime heating, we're going to start to see some pop-up showers and even a few thunderstorms out there as well, for the valley, surrounding foothills, and even into the higher elevations, not to mention the coast. We're also going to be looking at some of those snow flurries out there. Once again, it's not going to be very widespread, but it's one of those situations where you could be traveling in the mountains and then suddenly there's a big burst of snow. So that's why you've got to be prepared for that and make sure you have those chains handy, because you can look at the chain requirements. Those can change very rapidly as we see these bursts of snow come down in some of these areas. Now look at into the evening hours. We're seeing it begin to break up. So chances are actually starting to diminish at that point for parts of the valley. However, I still think even as we go into the evening hours, there still may be a chance for a shower or maybe even a thunderstorm for parts of the valley, but you can see how it's kind of starting to break apart here. All right, so as we go into 10 o'clock tonight, again, we're seeing some clearing. We're just not seeing much activity out there. So overall, we're probably not going to see a ton of activity here for all of Northern California, but there are going to be a few spots that could see that stray shower or even thunderstorm. It's going to be few and far between, but the chances are there. Where exactly that's going to be, that's the big trick, and that's the biggest challenge to the forecast. All right, so that's 10 o'clock tonight. Look it off behind me here. We've got the next storm system that's over the Pacific that is approaching, and that's eventually going to bring us a chance for some more showers by tomorrow. So you'll notice just off the coast over the ocean is where we're seeing the bulk of the rain by tomorrow morning. Most everyone is dry to start off the day on Friday, but then as it moves in closer, we see the flow around that area of low pressure making its way into Northern California. Now, the Storm Prediction Center does not have any chances for thunderstorms here for any parts of Northern California for Friday or Saturday. But Futurecast is picking up at the potential for showers and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm out there as well. And then, of course, we've got that snow in the higher elevations. Southern Humboldt County and Trinity County seeing some of the heaviest rainfall, and again, some heavier showers making their way into parts of the valley. So as we go through the afternoon and into the evening tomorrow, now we're seeing a nice stream of moisture coming into parts of Northern California. Basically valley southward, seeing some moderate rainfall at times, maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms. As you can see, parts of southern Humboldt County also seeing that for Friday as well. And then, of course, snow once again between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. This is going to create some more delays for some of those mountain highways. But look how dry it is off to the north, at least for the most part. There are going to be some stray showers out there. Now, as we go into Friday night, again, not very wet for Siskiyou, Modoc, or even parts of Del Norte County, but we're seeing the bulk of the rain in the north end of the valley and into northern Shasta County as well, not to mention down towards southern Humboldt County, and snow between 3,000 and 4,000 feet, once again creating delays on some of those mountain highways. As that low pressure system continues to dive to the south, we're seeing the rotation now coming in from the southeast, and we're still seeing the chance for showers even as we go into Saturday morning. Here's Saturday around noon. Now we're getting more activity out towards Modoc County and into parts of Siskiyou County as well, but not very active for the folks along the coast. However, parts of southern Humboldt County may get caught up in some of that flow, producing a chance for showers and maybe a few thunderstorms for Saturday evening. So you get the idea. It's all there. And I think from now until Saturday night, everyone is going to be looking at a chance for showers and maybe thunderstorms. But it's just a matter of when, depending on that area of low pressure and the amount of instability it does bring as we see the activity kind of rotate around that area of low pressure. So when we look at the forecast rainfall totals, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. But I do think we could see upwards of a half an inch to maybe close to an inch for parts of the valley. But notice Crescent City seeing less rainfall as a result, because it looks like as you head north, we're just not going to see as much of that activity here during this event through Saturday night. During this event, for now through Saturday night, it's mainly south of Del Norte, Siskiyou, and not to mention Modoc County. Everyone else has a better chance to see some significant rainfall out of this, or at least decent rainfall. We look at the forecast snow totals, and we're going to take you all the way through Saturday. Not a ton of snow, by the way. This is going to be one of those things where you have to go above 5,000 feet before you really start seeing any significant snow out of this. So we look at the road conditions forecast here through 5 p.m. We're really not going to see a huge impact. It's not until tonight and into tomorrow morning that we do start to see those snow levels begin to drop. And even places near I-5, now Mount Shasta City, could see the potential for some snow on the highway, as you can see right there. We take a look at Buckhorn Summit, most likely in the form of rain, but we might see a mix out towards Buckhorn Summit. And then, of course, really, as you start getting down to about 3,000, 4,000 feet within that range, some of those mountain passes east of I-5 will be looking at the best potential for those chain requirements. Wind gusts, yes, it's still going to be a little gusty out there at times throughout the rest of this afternoon. Friday morning, the wind's not that big of a deal, but they pick back up again going into Friday afternoon. Again, not a major wind event, but it is going to be a little gusty out there at times. And then, as you can see here, as we go into Saturday morning, those winds begin to die down. And once again, picking up to the north, but southward, winds not as bad. So again, overall, the winds aren't going to be huge. It's not going to be a major factor, but you'll probably notice those gusty winds here at times. Again, we take a look at the satellite image here, and again, we lose some of that data, but you can clearly see that area of low pressure. And what's happening is this. This is the next storm system that I've really got my eyes on. This will continue to impact us as we go into the rest of the day today. But this area of low pressure right here is what's going to be weakening, and then that area of low pressure will develop, get stronger, give us that chance for more showers on Friday. This is why I was talking about we're getting that rotation around that area of low pressure, and then it's coming in from the south and southwest, and eventually, as that low pressure dives down even more to the south, now we're seeing it coming in from the southeast, working its way northwestward, giving us a continued chance for that activity. But by Sunday, here's where things get interesting. Check this out. An area of low pressure is going to break off. Some energy will break off from the low pressure over Southern California, and we'll see it develop over Nevada. The counterclockwise rotation around that low is going to bring a potential for some showers for some of us here in Northern California and even down to the south. Could get interesting. This is one of those things where really I've been seeing this since last week, and it's still kind of holding on a little bit. But by Monday, Tuesday of next week, now we're looking at high pressure building in, warmer conditions out there. And then, of course, looks like as we go into the middle of next week, Wednesday, Thursday, we've got another storm system riding to our north that could bring us more clouds, but it looks fairly moisture starved. So it doesn't look like it would bring us a ton of rain. But Wednesday, Thursday of next week, you know what? We're talking about the potential for some more showers entering the picture here. So it's not over yet. We've still got some winter weather to contend with here. Temperatures upper 50s to low 60s for the valley. Could see those thunderstorms here. And for the mountains, we're looking at temperatures mainly in the low to even some mid 40s. But places like Trinity County around 50, low 50s inland, and low 50s as we take you out along the coast. All right, let's take a look at your neighborhood 7-day forecast, starting off with the valley. Thunderstorms today, chances, not everyone. Redding, Red Bluff, Chico has the chance, but not all of you are going to see those thunderstorms. With that said, if you do see a thunderstorm, you're talking about the potential for some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and maybe even some accumulating hail. Now, on Friday, I've got showers in the forecast. Now, we could even see an isolated thunderstorm in there, and it's going to start off with those clear sunny skies, or at least some sun filtering through those clouds. But then more clouds and some heavy rainfall coming in late in the day on Friday. On Saturday, showers, again, maybe a few thunderstorms, not out of the question, but I think the best chances will be today. Then we go into Sunday. I'm keeping the chance in there, folks, because again, that area of low pressure developing to our east over Nevada may bring us a stray shower or two. And then on Monday through Tuesday of next week, it's looking like more sunshine and warmer conditions. But again, as I mentioned, maybe by the middle of next week, but especially going into next Thursday, chance for showers. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, along with your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. There's that chance for thunderstorms today. Showers, snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet through Saturday. Now, I've taken out the chance because I think there's a better chance for dry conditions for the coast and even Trinity County on your Easter Sunday. Same situation for Mount Shasta City and Siskiyou County. Better chance of seeing dry conditions, but we could see the potential for some activity for Alturas and Susanville on Sunday. Otherwise, before that, yeah, we've got chances off and on all the way through the first part of the weekend. Drying out for Monday, Tuesday of next week, and then temperatures start to cool down again for the middle to latter part of next week with maybe even a chance for showers by then.